What's up, guys? This is Codes.
Matthew Anthony here.
Hey guys, Anammer here.
Hi, my name's Golf.
Mac Vaughn here.
My name's Winter.
Dom Kane. Bjorn Ackerson.
Julian Gray.
Christian Vance.
The Secrets.
Elas.
Horticulture.
Austin Hot.
Hi folks, and welcome along to another Sonic Academy Live. This is number 10, and as usual, I'm joined with Chris.
Hi everyone,
Chris?
welcome along. Well, good.
Had a good week so far?
Well, I've done nothing because there's nothing to do, and I know it's the right thing to do, and it's the safe thing to do, and it helps people and helps saves life. But my God, it's getting really tedious. What about you?
A bit boring, yeah. I would just love just a pint of beer in a pub or a beer garden, or just like a restaurant, or just anything.
Just human interaction
Anything.
that
Just
isn't
anything
your
that
children
isn't in the house with the kids.
It's, do you know what? Week 1, week 2, it was fine. What are we on now? Week 3, maybe week 4. It's just, oh, man. Are you being creative? Are you getting anywhere? Are you?
Yeah, well, we're keeping the show on the road at Sonic Academy, and I'm doing a couple of other things. We've got a bit of a collab action going on, as you know.
Okay, we can't mention that. That's a secret
That's
collab.
probably secret at the minute, but I don't know. I think they might be on the chat, so we'll find out if they.
I've big news as well.
Oh, what's your big news?
I've switched from red wine to Heineken's.
Oh, I've got this evening. We are on the Dark and Stormies.
Phil was totally well gel last week when I
really
had a bottle of red wine and got absolutely steaming the whole way through the show. So hopefully a bit more of the same this evening. I just want to give shout outs to everyone on the chat. It is already very lively. We got Mark Anthony, we have got Dennis Vandermeer, we got DRL, whose track last week was just incredible. We got Josh McCann, who's got a track coming up. We've got Lost Rhythm, welcome aboard. We've got Seven of Clubs, Take a Light, welcome aboard. Adam Me, Harry. There's somebody from Harry's from Holland and guys from Dubai, Alexei, all the usual. Live Society, welcome along, and hope you all enjoyed the ride.
Yeah.
So this week we are going to do some demo doctors, and then we're going to throw it open to you.
Yes.
What do you have problems with? What production issue can we solve? We're going to kind of do. We had Tech Tips 50 last week, which was our 500th tech tip on the site.
Yeah, and we got a really good response from that, didn't we? So
yeah, brilliant response. So we want you guys, anything you're really struggling, be sound design, arrangement, mixing, mastering, plugins, whatever it is, we'll try to resolve the issues tonight. What do you think, Phil?
Yes, exactly. So just any ideas you have for anything you're having issues with, struggling, just hit us up in the chat and we will get something going. If not, we'll just make some tunes.
Yeah, we're going to wing it tonight. So welcome along, everybody. We have got, so in the chat, Brian and Will are in the background and they'll sort of fire us questions and stuff. So if you can get them in early, then we'll try in the second half of the show, we'll try and get to your tech tip ideas or issues that you're struggling with, and we'll try and get Phil, because I won't be doing.
Well, we just get Gary on the chat there, who said we can talk about the collab. So yeah, we're doing a collaboration with Transwax, who incidentally is on Radio 1 tomorrow night on Annie Mac's show around 8, I think.
That's BBC Radio 1.
And even more exciting,
yeah,
I think Gary's going to come on the show next week. So
did you bribe Gary to come on the show next week?
Slightly.
Yes. So, Guy, thank you very much for a jump. He's Jekka there. So, yeah, I was talking to him last week. Phil's talking to him. We're talking about all sort of three of us doing a kind of 90s trance collab for his trance wax project. And myself and Phil were chatting today about it, and we're quite
Yes,
excited.
it's interesting, like going back through the stuff and what was sort of what it's trying to find the, what the essence was, what the good bit to take out of that sort of era without sort of becoming cliched and
Yeah, it's hard because I went and downloaded all the Roland cloud stuff last night because that would have been my main sound palette
the
back in the
JB1080,
day.
yeah.
The JB1080, there was a JD 800, and they've got samples and stuff from
Did you
it.
have a
So
JD 800 in the studio?
yeah, I did. I
Yeah.
had it. I never really used it loads.
Yeah, I remember. I vaguely remember it sitting there. I used it in college actually.
And
Quite a bit.
the JP 880, which you've got still in your studio, haven't you?
Yeah, it's out of the way. I think it's broken.
Yeah.
I tried
What
to sell
happened?
it and it gets sent back. I don't know.
You actually sold it to Bluff
I
Monkey.
sold it to Bluff Monkey. Yeah, I swapped it for, and I was so raging. I swapped it for the Korg Prologue 8, which was great. I really liked it. And then he was like, "When was the last time you turned this on?" I was like, 20 years ago.
And if it doesn't work, and you had to send
Doesn't
back
work.
the
Yeah,
prologue.
something to do with the pitch modulation that just kept like firing off, so it was doing like loads of weird stuff, and the volume knob was broken.
Brilliant, well done.
Sorry, Bluff Monkey. So yeah, we had to send it back. So oh well.
News-wise, music tech news-wise, it's pretty quiet at the moment just because of all that's
Yeah.
going on. But I suppose the big news this week is Luna.
Luna came out, yeah.
And
had a
you
go.
downloaded it,
Yeah,
and
had a quick go on it. Didn't find any issues. I think Techolite, who's our forum moderator, had issues with Anna working on it, but it seemed to work first time for me. But yeah, when I got into it, it was kind of there's just nothing there really. There's no MIDI stuff. There's like very basic MIDI. There's just no like fixed lengths or legato modes or it was just very very basic. Plugins and all worked fine, and I mean, it sounds nice. Didn't sound drastically different than anything, if any different at all that I could notice. But
the weird thing is people are giving out about the money, but this was always no. I mean, I haven't been paying it huge amounts of attention, and I knew that the summing mixer was going to cost, the Moog was going to cost, and while essentially the DAW is free, the extras are going to cost. Now it's costing quite a bit. I think the summing mixer is like $299.
Yeah, I mean, UAD stuff's always been pretty pricey.
Yeah, I was going to say if you're in the UAD ecosystem, you're kind of used to that money.
Yeah.
So I didn't agree with people going, oh, this is outrageous. They're talking. I mean, is it trying to be a Pro Tools killer more than anything else?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose in one sense it's an obvious expansion from their console software into the DAW. And currently in its state, all they've really added is tracks and a bit of MIDI, you know what I mean? It's not like I wouldn't go as far as say it's a full-featured DAW. I think it could be a good summing DAW. Once you've spat out your stems from a track, it might be a nice place to mix in, maybe something more like Harrison Mixbus.
Which is
that type of thing.
We have a course on Harrison Mixbus, which Dom Kane kind of exports all his tracks and goes into the Mixbus because he wants to be in mix mode rather than production mode. And it's
I think that's definitely a use case for it. I mean, the MIDI, in my opinion, is just not. It's not even close to being where it needs to be be able to produce.
Yeah.
But I guess that's not where it's sort of aimed. And it is a nice clean layout once you have sort of tracks in, and if you're just working with pure audio, and it is a sort of summing environment. I would imagine it would be quite nice, but I mean, if you don't have the hardware, you're absolutely no interest to you at all.
But I've said it a couple of times. I've had an issue with the hardware as well because I have the Apollo Twin here. But at the moment, I can get 3 or 4 plugins going, and then
you can use it with the Twin, can't you?
Yeah, I think you can use it with the Twin. I can also add more hardware to this, but in this day and age, to have 4 plugins or 3 plugins running on one chip,
I mean, the difficulty I think now is that as native computers become faster and faster, whereas maybe 10 years ago a UAD card would have genuinely been, kicking the ass off, a Pentium 3 computer, and it would have genuinely, taken a lot of, load off the CPU. I think
Yeah.
now it's probably the opposite in that the CPUs are so fast and so especially the transition from dual cores to quad cores to hex cores up to I've got a 10 core and you can get an 18 core Threadripper for not that much money these days. So potentially you can have 20 cores, 20 threads, or 40 threads of stuff for a grand. That would you could probably run 1,000 UAD plugins on it. You know what I mean? So
I think that's I get it's turning me off a little just because it gets so frustrated that the other day me and you were working on something and it had disabled plugins. I was going, what is it? And it was the plugins for this. I had 3 plugins. There was an Oxford EQ, there was
for your mic,
a compressor, and there was a precision limiter, and that was it. And that was
something else.
No, so I had to go and switch all that off. So
I mean, I've been doing mixes with the Slate stuff and having console 1 on every channel, and Slate virtual mix rack on every channel. That's on like maybe 40 or 50 channels, and the computer's just like whatever. It doesn't phase it.
I think this is the world we live in. So it's kind of, I understand their ecosystem, I get it, and they're brilliant plugins, and they're really well engineered. I just think in this day and age, it's probably there's a different probably business model they should be looking at rather than running on their own proprietary hardware. So everyone
checking comments. Yeah, everyone's sort of agreeing with the.
And Brian's giving you saying your mic's a bit low. So
my mic is a bit low.
Yeah, and we want to hear you're beautiful.
Okay, one of the other things we were talking about, I think the question had been asked in our forums previously. My mic does look low. Why is my mic low? Hi and welcome. Hi.
I'll
just give it a wee bit of welly there. Is that better, Brian?
Tell us if it's all okay. So yeah, UAD needs to go native. Yes, it is. I've got a 12-core PC built a month ago. That's Mars Technique. Only 4% CPU. Yeah, that's kind of where we're at these days.
Yeah, great. I have an i9 7900X Hackintosh with 10 cores, and it's just phenomenal. It's a superb machine. Just like, I mean, I do get to sort of 40-50% on the project, but that's like, that's with just never having to think about. It's like a reverb on every channel, and like VMR and console 1 on every channel, and just
Yeah, and you're not even having to think about being efficient where you're having to bus reverb. You're going.
I would have always previously, and I've got a lot of, especially some of the projects that the guys have sent in, or other projects that I've been working on, where everyone's got like all their stuff just on the channels. In series, like they'll have a reverb for like 6 different channels. Like, back in the day, that would have been, there's no way you could have done that with like older computers, So it's interesting to see that shift now when horsepower becomes less of an issue to sort of just stick stuff on channels.
Kind of something interesting. When we were talking about doing bringing up the old tracks with Transwax, we were talking about. We're going to miss the timing issues that used to have with MIDI that kind of that moved about and give those records a kind of feel that's I remember even it got so bad we have to put the kick drum at the very first track because
that's right.
Because the DAW would scan, the MIDI would be scanned
from top to bottom. Yeah, I remember that was Cubase VST3 or 2 or something that did that. And we ended up getting there was then the sync, the MIDI sync box.
There was the Steinberg MIDI
sync box,
box. So pads had to go with the very last tracks, and anything sort of time critical went to the top. So it was kind of when you got off the call, I was going, how do we randomly throw stuff out of time and stuff to give it
the vibe?
Give it that vibe.
That's
so
weird, like it, because it is. I was actually listening to you playing El Nino earlier, and I was like, there's something missing there. I don't know what it is. It's just everything's locked on the beat. It just sounds like
it sounds too strict and too stringent. Yeah. So there you go, guys.
Do you remember Ruta Silver? That track? It was just like the timing was just so loose on it. But it sounded good.
I think that was part. If you go back to some of the old mixes, when you hear a DJ mixing on vinyl and you hear the looseness of the mix, it sounds there's something nostalgic and really cool about it. I really love anyway. So. Hackintosh in the house here too. That's from Sonic. Sonic Academy's full of Hackintoshes, except for me.
You got legit.
I've got a legit iMac because you know what? I'm not clever enough to deal with drivers and trying to, it's like give Chris something simple that he can work and not let him get on with it. So yeah, guys, upgraded to PC. Is most people on PC, by the way? It seems to be a lot of PC dudes.
Can you get a Hackintosh from Nuts Corner? Says the Jacker. I'm sure you could.
So let's, Phil, if you want to jump over to.
Well, the other thing I was going to say just before we jump over was it had been asked a few times about how we were doing our live stream.
Okay, yes, okay.
So if you guys are interested, I'll just do a quick.
Because it seems to be a lot of every DJ, and I think there's a perennial problem with Facebook that when DJs are playing, after about 40 minutes, they're dumping them off. Must be like
copyright stuff.
Copyright stuff. So I think a lot of DJs are going to Twitch where they really don't care. Not throwing anybody off. So what are we doing?
Okay, so let me see. I'll go over to our CPU. So I'll talk you through what we've got. I will bring OBS over.
Mm-hmm.
You can see this is going to be crazy. What do you see?
Ooh.
See
Infinite
window. So what have we got? We've got OBS, and then we've got all our different scenes. So we've got scenes for the cameras, we've got scenes for CPUs, we've got our lower thirds, or the wee name tag things. We've got outros, and then we've got our ads that we run. And that all gets triggered.
How are you going to show this? Oh, there you go.
With this. This is X keys 80. And we've had these for ages, because if you do remember, this isn't the first time we've done live streams. We did the news.
If you dig into our YouTube channel and go Sonic Academy News, you'll see it's many years ago,
right
probably
back.
5 years.
The first Sonic Academy News was the one with the first tech tip in it. Do you remember? So 2009.
Okay, so that's 11 years ago, and then we kind of resurrected it about 5 years ago.
Yeah, so that's OBS, and that then streams
which is free.
Which is free, yeah.
So anybody wants to grab that, and that's
and what have we got? We got a capture card in the Mac, which is a Black Magic. Do you remember what the name of it is?
Intensity Pro.
I think it is something like that, or
it's
SDI. So we've got a Black Magic studio camera here. Chris has got a Panasonic GH2.
Yep.
Running into an Elgato
Camlink
4K.
And that freaks me out, by the way, because that's going in on USB.
Yeah, USB 3.
How the hell is it?
And then our live stream goes to this site, which is called Splitstream. And Splitstream enables you to add multiple channels. So we could add a whole bunch. We can add Twitch and stuff like that if we ever went that route. And so OBS feeds this, and then it goes into there, and then it goes into our Facebook Live. And then there's my missus. Thanks.
Well, your wife chats you.
She sent me, look, this is funny. She sent
oh, wow. Which brings me on to another topic. Just keep that photograph. And he's on chat. Fabrice Ozzy.
Yeah.
He was commenting on everybody's Tech Tips 50, and he was saying, brilliant tip. Thank you very much. This is a great tip. And then he said, Chris, you've got grey hair and a grey beard.
No compliment, just grey. Yeah, so there we go, Chris. There's me and you, apparently, according to my wife.
Thank you very much.
So, so this is our live, Facebook Live, and then just our YouTube Live. And that's it.
Yeah, somebody's asking about audio. How do we do OBS via Soundflower? No.
What do we do? Audio. I'll show you the audio setup. So we've got a couple of things going on. First off, we've got the Apollo.
Yeah.
So my mic going into there. We've got 1176 and just a limiter on that.
I have the same this end. I've got the Apollo with the same settings.
That end. And then if I go into audio MIDI, we've created an aggregate device called Record Stream with I Show You audio capture.
Yeah.
And universal Audio Thunderbolt. So I can't remember the reason, but basically you can't get the Ableton output directly from the Universal Audio into OBS, so you need an intermediary, which the I show you is like Soundflower kind of thing. There are other options. We did test some other things recently to try and get the Skype thing working. What were we doing? It was I can't remember what I've got the apps there.
Or it was the old look. We ended up using Audio Movers, which is oh no, sorry.
It was that so we ended up using Listen to actually feed to get the stream to Chris, but we were looking at there was some other apps and stuff. But what was it called?
I can't remember. It looked quite old, didn't it?
Yeah.
You looked at Cubase's one, and you looked at one other one.
So that's pretty much it. Any questions on that?
The big name DJs who are verified on Facebook can pay a one-off fee to allow them to stream anything on Facebook. Not sure how reliable the info is, though. Yeah, well, he did have a caveat there, saying he doesn't know how reliable that is. So look, there is a problem with people streaming, every DJ and copyright and who's paying for those streams, So I'm sure that's why Facebook's going to get off.
Should you not just run ads? I mean, would that not be the?
Yeah, like Facebook does. If we play a track here, our videos don't get monetized anyway. So the money that's generated from ad, they will put ads on our videos, and then that ad revenue will go to those tracks that we played. So if you could just play on the Ollie Nelson every time, it'd be great.
Yeah. Do it.
Yeah. Do it. Twitch is good. Yeah, we should look into Twitch as well, Phil, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Seems to be where the hip happening kids are.
Is my track on for tonight? 7 of Clubs? I don't think so. I think that only came in today, didn't it?
It did. So we had several tracks in. So we'll go to Demo Doctor now. If you want to get your track in, please email it to live@sonicacademy.com. Make sure if it's a SoundCloud link that we can download it or send it by WeTransfer.
Yeah, there was a bit of a mistake in the email that went out today that just said YouTube links, but it should have said SoundCloud links.
Yeah.
Brian. Was it Brian or was it you?
Brian?
It was Brian. Brian!
There's a Jekka saying, yeah, I did a stream last week and it got taken down every 3 tracks. I think that's sort of, Facebook is kind of not, I think everybody's discovered that's not the place to stream to. It's visible, whereas Twitch isn't, and you mightn't have an audience on Twitch, so I don't know what you do there. So
there we go. We've got our first track is Travis Donzin. Oh, this is a remix of the Jerome Ismay Tiger track.
Yeah.
And Travis just wanted us to have a quick listen and see if we spotted anything that could be.
Just before the remix competition closes tomorrow night at midnight BST, I think it is. Yes. Pacific time, midnight Pacific time, which is about 7 or 8 a.m. BST.
We're announcing winners, aren't we, as well?
Oh yes, we've got.
When are we doing that? We're doing that now?
Yeah, do you want to do it now?
Let's do it now.
Ask everybody in chat. Would you like to know who won the JTech remix competition?
I would.
Who will get a release on Anjuna Beats?
I entered.
Okay, right.
I didn't really enter.
Can you fill while I find the email? Let me see. And we should also, we've got some, I'm just going to tell you, we have some brilliant...
What's onto concurrent Twitch? You have to apply for it now, but it's not really making a hit until now, I think. Meet live streams depending on the tracks being played. It's like 300 or 400 for the license. Is that true? I'd like to know that. I must check that out.
Probably, you presume it's going to be like a shop where competition winners. Okay. So, do you want to know?
The
drum roll,
the
please.
winner is.
No, we'll go from third.
Oh, from third. Okay, go, yeah.
So third. In third place, we have Seb.
Seth.
Yeah, Seb. So you can go.
Seb.
Will said you can go to the webpage to show Tiger Lily, so we can go to the Can you go to that?
Okay. And is it the
What?
right page, right people at the top and stuff, or?
No. We'll just have to try and find their entry.
Oh, okay. Tiger. It's not. It is. It's not. It's Tiger Lily, isn't it?
Tiger Lily. No, don't get. I can see it below. There you go.
Tiger Lily, and then
Enter remix competition.
what's that?
Big red button to the over.
Oh
over.
yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. That's,
And then submissions.
submissions. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And then we're looking for Seb.
Seb. Oh no.
There you go.
No.
No. Anyway,
I don't.
let's
Why
move on.
do I not see it? Is there more than?
It could be a different username. Okay, in second place
Yeah.
we have Paul Arcane.
Paul Arcane.
Yeah. So
Coming in your ears.
coming in. So Seb gets £25 store voucher. Paul Arcane gets 50, and in first place, who gets a £150 store voucher and a release on Anjuna Beats
That's so good.
is, I can see him third one down.
Yeah. Kava.
Is Kava. And Kava, I did see in the chat earlier on tonight. So Kava, if you're there, say hello and welcome along.
For real, is he in the chat?
He's in the chat. Normally we have a big swanky video and we could play it in, but we kind of forgot. So Kava, well done. You, I will pass your.
Can we listen to his mix?
Yeah,
Oh
certainly.
no, it's not going to play through. I don't have the.
Oh, okay.
It's not hooked up. I'm afraid.
So Kava, I'll pass on your email to the boys at Anjuna Beats and to JTech himself, and they will get in touch and sort out getting the final mix off you and working out getting the track released. So brilliant prize. We've got one more day of Jerome Izame remix competition that finishes tomorrow, so get your remixes in that. And then we have coming, I think, next Friday. We have a synthwave remix competition happening, and that's a release on New Retrowave. So that's the biggest synthwave label out there at the moment. So they've agreed to put the winning remix out. So
Good.
maybe
Good.
maybe
I'm
try
back on
that,
the water
yeah.
now. So
Why?
I've run out of the other stuff.
You take a license in 2 more days, 11th April. Yes, it is 2 more days. It finishes at it's kind of midnight Pacific time. So Friday night, which is 7 a.m. on Saturday, the 11th of April. So there you go.
Okay.
All right.
Demos?
So let's get into Demo
Demos?
Doctor.
Maybe we'll not even have time to do any tech tips at the end.
We will make time, dude. We will make time. Guys, get your tech tips, answers in, please. Anything you want to know, anything that we can help with, please do hit us up in the chat and we'll try and get through to it. If not, we're just going to make stuff up.
I'm just gonna get rid of this L3. This probably shouldn't be happening live on air, but it's really annoying me every time that switch to you.
There it comes up.
Yeah.
All right, there you go.
So I will fill while you're doing that.
Yeah, you fill. Why can't I?
What we've got going on Sonic Academy this week is, I don't know if you know, we have a free trial running. So if you go to sonicacademy.com/free trial, if you are not a subscriber or haven't been a subscriber, you can sign up for 7 days, absolutely completely free. Access to all 500 courses. What's wrong?
Coming. Brian's just messaged me and say maybe Phil shouldn't drink before a live show.
or ever.
I heard the buzz. It was like slaggins happening. Okay.
Uh,
Demos.
So yes, we've got a 7-day free trial. We have got 65% off Anna, and we've got 30% off yearly subscriptions. So lots to be getting on with. Let's get over to some demos and listen to Tiger. So this is somebody that submitted a remix and wanted some advice on where he could improve the remix.
Yeah, I had a brief listen to this earlier, and it really felt to me like they were pushing the mids quite a bit, as if they had not great speakers, potentially.
Right, let's have a listen.
you doing there, Chris? On your desk? Have that on the desk. What do you push? What do you pull?
I'm waiting for this drop to happen. See if it like kicks into the sub.
What do you think?
Yeah, the sub's just a bit woolly, a bit flat. It needs to be much more driving.
I think it needs turned up a bit as well.
Yeah.
I think the mids and the high mids are pushed far too far up front.
And that brass thing is kind of way too sort of loud.
Yeah, I mean, there's some really nice production elements in there overall. I just think that the hi-hats, the clap and stuff is just pushed too far forward.
I think
kick needs to be more up front.
Also, the brass sample, that sort of big brr, isn't something that you would find in this genre. So it kind of sticks out a little bit for me. It's a bit sort of like... I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some really nice elements there, especially like the production on the production on the hats and the claps. I really like the general sound design on the synths and stuff. I think they're all really nice.
Yeah.
I just think it's mainly a balancing issue. I think, kick up, bit more beef on the bass.
I thought the bongos were a little bit loud and a little bit sort of clattery or something. That just needs to soften things a little bit.
Yeah.
The brass sample, yeah, maybe I would have tucked under maybe like a sort of a brassy synth sound as well.
I was just about to say that you could maybe try and do the same type of sound, but just with a synth that would give you the same sort of impact and vibe, but maybe make it. I mean, that sort of brass stab is more reminiscent to me of like tech house or that sort of more
housey sort of things,
sort of vibe. Yeah.
Whereas if you did that in a synth, it would definitely be much more progressive-y house and afterlife-y type sort of thing. So let's have a look at the comments, what everyone's saying. Good work, some nice sounds. Nice wee beat though, like Burial versus Afterlife. Yep, that's a Jekka. Solid, people are saying. So yeah, generally.
I mean, I think the track's there. I think mixing, and I suspect that's a lot down to your speakers. You're probably compensating for what you're hearing in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe try a demo of SonarWorks. It's really good. If you've got a particularly bad room, it can certainly help get you 50% closer or something like that. You still use SonarWorks, don't you?
I still, yep, it's on across the studio because I did put a lot of Visacoustic stuff in from your studio, and it actually didn't do much. It didn't change the before curve and after curve. Were very
it'll
similar.
maybe not change the frequency balance, but it will change the waterfall curve or the waterfall slope. So it'll bring that in, so you've got less ringing and less resonance, but maybe you still need to balance out your. Because even in this room, we had to do some balancing
with the waterfall.
Mm-hmm.
The
waterfall is taken care of because there's so much absorption, but just the room and the desk make a frequency curve that you have to adjust for. So
okay,
the guys sorted that out. Okay, should we go for our next demo?
Who's this from then? This is
Pro
Dark
New 24-bit is from.
That's an original. That's a title. You don't know who this is from.
What?
Huh?
I
What
don't
have you
know.
done? What have you done?
Dark prog. Is that? Hold on. Let's play it.
We really need to get our act together
This
here,
must
don't we?
be Josh. Is this Josh?
It's Josh.
Is it?
It's mine. It's Josh.
It's
Yes.
Josh. Yeah, it is Josh. Yeah.
Josh, what's your artist name again? If you could remind me on the chat. I can never remember it, and I can never pronounce it.
Hi come. Hi come. Just stop this here a wee second. Hi come. This the file name.
Yeah.
Is different. Must have metadata in, maybe. Is there metadata in there, Josh?
There's no. So it's
No.
Nosodit, Nosodit, Nosodit. Josh McCann. So Josh, yeah, has a studio local to us, and does lots of really great sort of proggy stuff. So let's have a listen. There's that brass sample done on the synth.
Yeah, that's the.
That's exactly it. Love the hats.
Again,
love
I'd be bringing the kick. Did I mix my kicks too loud? Just, or does that need to come up?
Me and your mum need to have a chat with you.
Too much kick.
Yeah, I like the kick. I think it sits nicely. I think it's just.
See, for me, the hi-hats are just poking out too much. I'd maybe bring those back and more kick, a wee bit more kick.
More kick, less hats.
Yeah, just a bit more kick, bit more beef in the kick, and then just bring those hats back. I like the vibe though.
Now, would you have introduced an element by this point? A musical element?
I think there's been a lot of sort of effects and pads and sounds that keeps it interesting enough, potentially. Yeah, it's working for me.
Nice.
I think that there was a nice sort of like drone riser thing that was coming up there just in the last sort of 16 bars. I'd almost have that building a lot earlier and coming up and creating a bit more of a
Just bigger?
yeah,
Yeah.
just making more of a. You could have that going on longer and it just sort of creates more tension. The wee chord change, like that wee chord change.
No. It's holding your attention, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, what I would that I
Yeah.
I think that needs to be kind of like your tech tip where We Are One by Faceless.
Yes, you do the sort of compressed reverb thing.
And just got to be a bit more ding.
Pushed or a bit more of like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just a bit
Watch
more in
that
your
tech tip.
face.
I love that sound. The only thing I was thinking of there, it didn't feel like there was enough made of that to break. I don't think like every track needs to have a super big riser or anything, but I just think maybe building up a bit of percussion. Get a bit more of sort of that. I think that sort of drone thing at the start, the drone riser
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, it needs just milk a little bit more. Just
Yeah.
be brave.
more pumping. There needs to be more sidechain on some of either the reverbs or the leads, just to give it make it feel like it's a bigger track.
But then you listen to some of that afterlife stuff, and it's not.
Yeah.
It is quite understated in places as well. So.
Yeah, I think that's me again. I was talking to Gary as well about that, where I'm just like, I have a really bad tendency to just want to make everything like as big as possible.
And it is true. Kitchen sink. I listen to a lot of. I got to mention his name again, Patrice Brum.
Yeah.
And it's very understated. And if you do study it, it's like, yeah, this isn't making a meal out of it, but it's just vibey stuff,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, cool. Just brilliant track. Well done. Maybe just have a look at your hats. Look at that ding ding ding.
Yep.
Look at that sort of main riff. Get a bit
Do you
bigger.
need more? I mean, you listen to the stuff like On Balance or Afterlife and stuff. Is there more? They're not big breaks, but is there more sort of shorter breaks, transition-y type things that are happening to introduce sounds and sort of more, if you are going to bring in a ride or an extra element, you can sort of drop it down for a second and do a bit more
Totally.
with the transitions potentially.
Yeah, just a bit. They're a lot more. They're actually a bit more clever with the arrangement, and a little bit more just pulling another 10% out of the arrangement and dropping things out for 2 beats or 2 bars and introducing just and that 2 bar break and then introducing say just even a ride or a clap can be really effective. So yeah, there you go. So well done, thank you, Josh. Next up we have got it's Rocket Science.
Okay.
Tulips.
Nice balance.
Yeah, I'm in already. Really cool groove in the hats.
Yeah. Nice effects.
Yeah, I like this.
Yeah, lovely so far. Yeah, really interesting stuff. There's lots of different unusual sounds sort of happening.
I think it needs a. I would look at the arrangement. I think quite short start, big long break, and quite a short outro. But it is kind of Gabriel and Dresden-y. Do you think it needs another element, that second idea in there?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that sort of it's only 3 minutes and 25 seconds, so maybe it's sort of aiming more towards like a radio editing type thing. But
right.
I mean it's a very pleasant listen. Do you know what I mean? It's like all the right elements in terms of like you could imagine on like a chill, deep housey type thing or deep prog sort of.
But even just like a piano riff in there, ding ding ding, just something or an arp. It is very late 8, as Josh says, but just needs really great up to that point. But it needs, I think, the riff or the main element to happen in there.
Agreed. Yeah.
But yeah, really
I like
cool.
the balance. I mean, the mix is really good. Mix
Love the
is really
groove.
good. The sounds are really good. Sound design's really interesting. I like the way there's different unusual sounds. But yeah, you're probably, I don't know. It's a difficult one because the sound design's really nice and it all flows really nicely for me. Maybe you don't need that, but it makes it a certain type of track. Then you know what I mean. It's not going to be a massive sort of end of the night floor filler, but it is a really nice sounding well produced track.
Yep, no, that's really cool. Some more people in the chat. I'd just like to say, Cosmic Cat, look, thank you very much for your track. We're going to try and get it in next week because we're really keen. It would just come in too late tonight. Rob Burns, welcome along to D5. You were asking, do these happen every week? Yes, every Thursday at 8 p.m. BST, which is pretty summertime now because we've gone 1 hour forward. So I'm reliably informed. And Davey Busaka, welcome along to the chat. What's our final track? This is
our final track is Ignition by John Sloan, who's a
He's
regular Sonic Academy-er.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for submitting. Guys, we love getting these tracks in and listening to them. So we look forward every week to dropping them into Metric AB and then checking them out probably Thursday afternoon. So let's have a listen to John.
Up until the clap came in, and the clap just sort of took me out of it a bit. What do you think, Chris?
Just a bit heavy, but
yeah.
Should the clap be a tighter clap, a higher clap, or?
Yeah, I think tighter and just maybe not just as loud in the mix.
Right.
I actually think up to that point it didn't really need a clap. I was enjoying the sort of techno-y vibe of just.
Okay. Yeah. That's a really nice riff coming in. I like that.
The clap's back out there, isn't it?
Yeah.
I like that. See the. Oh, there's the
back in.
I was really quite enjoying it without, there was like the loop was adding a bit of a clap, and I think that's the sort of level you want to stick at maybe. I'm just going to turn the volume up for 2 seconds in here just to hear the bass a bit louder.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah, bass sounds good. Nice and deep. Ooh. Not too overpowering.
Yeah, that's what we're always talking about, that moment. Oh yeah. That's good. That's really good. That's what we're always talking about, creating the moment in the record, and that's your moment. That's
I love everything about it. I think it's got really good groove. The balance sounds really nice. Love all the sound effects. Just that wee clap just was bothering me. Just bring it down a tiny bit.
Totally get what you're saying about the clap. It drags it, doesn't it? It sort of makes it heavy.
Yeah, I think as well there's a bit of pre-clap on there.
Right.
And it's in a bit. I think that's a housey thing, and that sort of adds that sort of, slushy groovy thing. I think
Yeah.
techno, you're sort of, you kind of want it on the beat.
Sound design's really, really cool. You've got the big moment in the record that we always talk about.
Yeah.
So yes, we were talking earlier on tonight about voting for our favorite demo of the week, and yeah, we'd kind of like to vote for this.
Yes. I think
Everyone else.
Yeah.
Agree. Deadly Custard says, yeah, my favorite, I think, of the night. So yeah, anybody else? Cool track, very full, great mix. DRL, musically brilliant, guys. There definitely is a theme to the demos that we're getting in. So we're going to try and get more housey demos in, a bit more techno. So
we did get a couple of other ones in this week that we didn't get time to put in. So we've got Paula, I think will be in next week. She's had
Paula's on the job. Cosmic Cat already said hello.
Yeah, she's been in before. So cool. We are. Oh yeah, don't forget to subscribe.
Oh yes.
And like.
Smash a like.
Smash a like.
And hit a bell.
Hit the bell. And then we are going to go for our halftime ad, although it's probably more like our
toilet ad.
third quarter ad.
Third quarter ad, and then we got back. We got some tech tips people want to see.
Do you know which one it is? Do you remember which one it is? One.
It should be Node.
I don't think it is. I think it might be one.
What? You don't know which button?
I'm trying to figure out which button to press.
Okay, good luck. Can you?
Hold on, I can. Wait, do you see? I can do it this way. It's
47 seconds, not that one.
There we go. ADS one. Okay, we'll see us back into. This is a wee video, by the way, that we knocked up just for Ableton's Facebook, so they wanted to have a look. So you can have a look at this.
All right.
There you go.
So there's that was an ad we made for Ableton to show Node kind of crazy skyline going to a mountain and then into the wavetable. So yeah, go and get Node. It's available now. We got it out. When was it? Monday, Tuesday there?
Yeah. It's already out. And yeah, if you've if you have any questions about that, we can certainly show you some stuff. And I think we have some stuff from the chat. Mapping mod in Anna 2 to key track and velocity sensitive to opening up filters. Let's look at Anna. What does that mean?
I don't know what that means. I would have to go through that step by step. It's like a 7-part question. I think, yeah, we've got Bass Major wants a tech tip about is it better to use send reverb and delay than insert on each instrument track? I think you've been mentioning the last couple of weeks that
Mm.
you're inserting reverbs and delays more
Yeah.
often.
So
It kind of, especially, I mean, 5, 6 years ago, not all reverbs and delays had dry wet controls, so
yeah, I
they
think
had to be
the thing
sensed.
is, if you are planning to use the reverb on, or if you want to use a similar reverb on a lot of tracks, it's best to have it as a send and return.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you are doing something specific
Hmm.
for for a particular instrument or even a group of instruments, then you can put it on the insert. The other thing that you can do with an insert that is harder with the return is put effects on afterwards and compressors that are relating to that channel, so you could have reverbs on a channel and then group compress it and stuff. So
Yeah, so
um,
it's sometimes a production choice, isn't it? You're
mm,
deciding whether, is this something, am I just going to slap a bit of reverb on this one thing, just, and I want a kind of a drum room or slightly different room, or is this something that a group of instruments are going to go to, and I might want to reprocess the reverb afterwards and stuff. So
mm,
yeah, it's not. I don't think, again, it's like everything in music. There is no right or wrong answer. It's kind of, does it sound good? Do you like it? Is this the way you want to work? Does it make your life easier? Then do
yeah,
it. You
I
know.
mean, as we sort of mentioned back, a few years ago, you would have been very conscious about not putting reverbs on individual channels because reverbs were quite CPU hungry. But I think that's kind of gone. So it really is a
Yeah.
production thing. I would, if I'm trying to bring a group of elements into the same space,
Uh,
I would use it on a group or on a send return.
so we've got people asking, is Node a synth? No, kind of stress this. It's not. It's a wavetable maker. It's for making wavetables and for grabbing single cycle. You can bring in import WAVs and copy the waveforms and export them to your favorite synths. So it exports to Phil. Correct me if I'm wrong. Serum,
Yep.
Avenger,
Yep.
Pigments,
Yep.
June 3.
No.
June 3. Yeah, it kind of does, but doesn't.
You
Uh,
can. You can. It doesn't import directly into June
yeah.
3's wavetable folder, but in June 3 there is a wavetable import option that you can use to import
Uh-huh.
the wavetables exported. So the way I have Node set up is I have like a global wavetable folder now that
Mhm.
has just 1024s, 2046s that all the stuff goes into, and then I can like just load them into whatever. Apart from the ones that are already loaded in, so it'll go directly into the pigments folder, it'll go directly into Serum, and Avengers
Avenger.
sort of somewhere between June and the other ones, where once it's like Ableton Wavetable, once you've set the folder up, you can just drag a bunch in. So
Okay, so Lexi's asking, talking about reverb, is it better to stick with more or less the same settings for the main portion of the tracks to kind of preserve the scene unity, or is it better to be creative here?
I mean, I would very, very rarely automate a reverb
Yeah,
because you do get that sort of weird ripping stuff.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
As it recalculates the RT60 and stuff, it can be a bit sort of,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, yeah.
I would definitely automate the reverb send level over the course of a track,
Uh-huh.
especially on riffs and things like that. So maybe in a chorus when you're, obviously sort of hitting maybe the compressor harder and stuff like that, you can add a bit more reverb in and it'll sort of fill things out. Maybe
Totally.
in a verse you would dial it back to sort of make things more dry, and it's another tool in the arsenal of ramping up your track towards a build or towards a break, and it can be really subtle. It's a sort of, it's that reverb is one of those things that you want to be able to feel and have a presence of without necessarily it washing over the whole track. So you sort of, especially on things like vocals, you don't want. It's very rare you would hear in a record that on a pop
You're aware
record or
of the,
whatever, you can hear like a big wash of reverb. It's normally sort of just giving it a vibe of space, I suppose.
yeah, yeah, it's an impression rather than
Yeah.
something audible. It's,
So and
yep,
that's genuinely what is for those type of instruments for vocals and stuff. That's what I'm listening for. I would sort of go, where's too much reverb?
yep.
Where am I hearing the reverb? And then I'll just sort of ease it back
Back.
off from that.
That's kind of what I do with subs as well. It's like I raise the sub up until I can hear it, and then just so it's just sort of
Exactly, yeah.
tucked underneath.
And I
So there
think,
you go.
yeah, reverb's a really good tool for creating build. So if you're going towards a break, just it can be really subtle. You just bring it up 3-4 dB and then back it off and then bring it up, and it's one of those. I would say there's like 3 or 4 tools that I have that you've obviously got filters on your synth that you're bringing up. You've got reverbs. You can maybe do the same with delay, and if you do that at each section of your track, and it can be subtle. You sort of have that build.
And you can also, I used to sometimes have a big long reverb that, on transition sections, I would up the wet, and down the dry, and it just became, and then, you're slamming it back down. So it became instantly dry, and your ears get this sort of suddenly, where's that big, and just the, you play about with those sort of parameters and those automations
Definitely
and stuff.
An effect to get creative with, and an effect that is very good at building emotion and building tension. So,
okay, so the next one we have asking about chord memory device for songwriting, please. And I think it'd be an opportune moment to look at chord memory device, and a lot of people kind of struggle with ARP in Anna and how it works, and because it's not too. Once you get the concept, which is dead easy, it's like yes. So chord memory, CMD for writing. What would you suggest?
CMD for writing. So,
Philip,
we
have got presets. So you can go in and use presets. We have
presets. I mean, let me see. Above 2.
So should we start with the difference between single and multi?
Yes. Okay. So we got single mode.
Which
is basically like the old school Juno mode, where you put a chord in and it basically transposes it up and down the keyboard.
So use cases would be house stabs, those sort of techno-y stabs.
Yeah, house stabs, stuff like that.
Yep. And then multi is you can assign any.
So I saved this the other day from a track that I was working on, where I was reverse engineering the chords in a track to sort of give me a palette to work from.
Yep. Okay.
So. And what I do is I try and keep all the chords that I normally use on the root notes.
Yes.
So that's an F. That's a G sharp. That's the B flat.
B flat.
C minor, D sharp major. And so that's the C minor scale that I always basically use. And then the ones that aren't in the scale, so like A is normally a variation then of another note. So although there's no A in this, I'm using it there as a variation on the A sharp. Same with the F.
And if everybody could look at those chords, they're kind of big, dead mousey style chords, aren't they?
Yeah, hard chords to play, and they're hard chords to remember to play, on your own. And then obviously you've got, that combined with ARP mode.
Yeah.
So I'll explain how this works for anyone who doesn't know. So you have 6 note slots, and it starts at the lowest note, up to the highest note, and that is denoted here. So in note order.
So if you go up to CMD, it would start off on that low F, and then the next note would be the high F, second high.
And currently we're only playing 4 notes.
So the top 2 notes in ARP are ignored, and you can see that, as you say, highlighted there.
So we've got them highlighted, so it's showing us playing 4 notes. If we switch this to high to low. It's actually looping around, but it's playing a different 4. It's playing the notes up here now, just in a different place. And then we can do octave wrap. So octave wrap will go do-do-do-do-it, and then start again, but at a higher octave, do-do-it. So that's handy.
Yeah.
If you want to just fill in the blanks, we got gate. Then you've also got these other octaves that you can put notes in. And a lower octave. It's too low there. Yeah, so that's basically it. You've got 6 note slots, and those notes correspond to the notes on your keyboard.
Yeah.
Whichever they
So if you
are.
so if you want to use all 6, you have to have a 6-note chord.
Yeah, or if you have octave wrap on, it'll wrap around
to the next chord.
So yeah, and we have a bunch of presets.
So yeah, we can. I mean, using CMD as a songwriting tool, what you do is you get the track that you want to copy the chords, store them in the CMD.
Yeah.
And then you can start then randomly checking out different sequences of chords and how things can change. And
yep, totally.
And then there are some presets in there, so there's some multi presets in there.
Yeah,
you can
we
get
got some different chord.
People are asking about MIDI out of this as well.
So MIDI out works on the VST.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll show you how to set it out. So you just add new MIDI track.
Yeah.
Set your MIDI input to Ana 2. And then go to Post Effects and then select Ana 2 again.
Mm-hmm.
And then so if we record that.
Okay.
And
then look at the MIDI.
chords.
Cool. And it'll do the same for the ARP as well?
Yep, and then you can do that live as well. So theoretically, all you need is one Ana to trigger all your chords, and then you can have ARPs and bass lines all triggered off that same progression. And then you can, at any point in your track, just by changing one note, you can. So I'll set that up quick because it's quite good fun, that. So I'll set up 3 Anas. I'm going to do chords.
Everyone's loving that.
Chords. ARP. And bass.
Okay.
So we can go into our chords.
Yeah.
What we're going to do is turn on preset lock.
Yeah.
Okay. So preset lock means that it'll, if we switch presets, it'll stay, the CMD will stay. Okay.
CMD and ARP will stay the same?
CMD and ARP, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to copy this over to this one. This has got our, should have our locked
preset.
We'll just check. Yep, so it's got that CMD locked. Actually, it doesn't even matter. You don't even need CMD on, so we can take that off, actually. We can go into a preset, say bass. Loving the Japan bass at the minute. And what we can do is use our chords. I'll get rid of these tracks just for now, so we can keep things clear. We can use our chord as the master, and we're going to set the bass as input from chord. Okay.
Yeah.
And then have that set to in. Now, when we go into this, we will just use our so our bass is being triggered.
By the ARP?
Just by that one, we're playing one thing in, and then we'll do another one. Actually, I'll copy this to this.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got our bass. Well, let's do this. So we're taking it from our chords, going to Ana 2, and we're putting the input, and then we'll change this one to an ARP of some description. Let's see what we've got. Any ARPs in this bundle? And
this is a new pack you're working on, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's just like a plucky.
Look at the one above it. Look at the one above it.
Ooh!
I got him to make that today.
Okay, so now we can go into our ARP, do something interesting there. we've got all our tracks running off that one thing.
One thing. So let's recap because it was very, very quick. You set up a CMD.
Yeah.
And out of that CMD, you sent out the MIDI. And that triggered an RP bass. Yep.
Yeah, I'm just hold on. I'm gonna get a kick in.
You get the kick in while I try and explain it, and then you can go back and go, Chris, you got it utterly wrong. Here we go. Hold on.
So it's just a really good way of trying out stuff. So we've got our master,
Yep.
which is red.
Yep.
And then we've got our slaves, which are ARP and bass.
Yep.
We've got our inputs, our MIDI inputs set to chords, that channel.
So chords is sending out to these ARP and bass tracks. Yep.
And that's, that's sending out the output of the CMD into these. We've got ARPs on both of these, which are just playing. If you wanted to actually record that in, you just have to record it on the chord track.
With one finger? So there you go.
We can just quantize that. There we go. 6 trance tracks in 5 weeks.
And you're literally pressing one key.
Don't want that chord there, so we'll just move that down to there. You're not having to go into each track and
change every note.
About.
Yeah.
So you go.
Loads. Brilliant. That is. People are asking. It doesn't work with audio units because it doesn't send out MIDI.
It didn't have the feature up until Audio Units 3,
which is coming.
Now have Audio Units 3, but I don't know if Juice is building for it yet. So as soon as we can do it, we'll do an
update.
I think we're going to be looking at some MIDI stuff hopefully in the next while with Anna. So
cool. Let's see who else is asking questions. How much reverb is too much reverb and how is little? When you can hear too much, it's too much, and when you can't really hear it, it's too little. Does that answer that?
Yeah, it depends on the type of track for start.
Yeah. True. If you're doing something big and epic, cinematic or trancey or whatever, you need big reverbs. And if you're doing something very, housey, you would do less reverbs.
Yeah.
Kind of,
Yeah. I mean, the amount of reverb on, like the Sean Tass leads, is like literally all the reverb. Like it's almost like putting the reverb, on as an insert and not even putting any dry in. Sometimes it sounds like sort of.
I've heard Sean Tass has a cupboard full of reverb.
Yeah,
that he
just
keeps
a big bag of it just right beside him.
I hope to have some news on Sean Tass and Sonic Academy very, very soon.
Ooh, that could be interesting.
I'm working. Hopefully, with this lockdown, it's kind of advantageous. I'm working, trying to get a lot of really cool artists to come to Sonic Academy. So we have got we've got a techno guy who is #1 in the techno charts always, coming to Sonic Academy. Umek.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So Umek's recording.
That in the bag?
That's in the bag.
It was in the bag before, and then it was out of the bag.
Yeah, he just became. He's back in the bag because he's not as busy. We have hopefully Sean Tass. He's up for doing some stuff. Again, we just need to nail these down. So yeah, look, we'll hopefully have some really exciting content. Chatting with Matt Zoe and all these sort of guys at the moment, and hopefully we're going to bring you some cool content. As people asking about tomorrow's course, it is the man like Gop. Who's going to do his spinning deep record. Nobody's watching, so we're going to do a walkthrough of that. And then next week, we have got Michael Oakley and his synthwave course, and we've got a remix competition with New Retrowave. So that's all coming up. Yeah, let's take some other questions.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing?
Look, I'm just getting slagged on by Brian and Will about nicotine lozenges. 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm trying to stop vaping because I don't want to die of coronavirus. Okay, is that okay, everyone?
So,
It's
somebody's
fine.
asked, how do humanize Anna 2 tips for making it sound more live? I'm not sure what humanize as in terms of the MIDI parts, or I'm not sure what way live. What do you think, Phil?
Well, in terms of like synth sounds, you can put like a random. Say we wanted to create a bit of. Hold on, let me just get that back to normal. Like in my J, if you wanted to make sort of more organic sounding, I suppose.
Yes, somebody's asking. Yeah,
Yeah, the
more
OB6,
techniques.
like when you press a note, it's not always the same.
Yeah, yeah.
So we can do stuff like putting a pitch fine
There you go.
on that, and then putting it on
Rondo.
yeah, turning the rate down.
Yeah.
So it sort of starts changing pitch.
Yeah. So
Even there when you're playing a chord, not every note's the same.
you're trying to get sort of drift in there.
But there's probably a bit too much there, but
Deadly Custer's asking, how do you get a vibrato?
a vibrato.
A vibrato.
A vibrato. So there's two ways of doing vibrato. If you think about how vibrato actually works, you can't bend down on vibrato if you're on a like guitar. You know, if you're going, it's always bending up.
Right. Okay.
So I like to use sound mono.
Okay.
And you can either, I always have it around the sort of
7, 8.
5 to 7.
Oh, you're 5 to 7. I'm 7 to 8.
Yeah. Somewhere around there. And then there's two
Yeah.
ways. You can either do it manually by assigning it to the mod wheel.
Yeah.
Or you can just add delay in.
And show us how to assign it to mod wheel, just for those that wouldn't
So
know.
if you want to assign that to mod wheel, just get the depth, right
Yeah.
click, mod
Yeah.
wheel.
Mod wheel. And tick.
And then you can go into the mod and adjust how much. So if we turned this down.
Yeah, Phil, can you switch the cam?
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
See, he's useless without me there.
Sorry.
There you go.
So yeah, sorry. We'll go through that all again.
Yeah,
So we got our sine on mono, pitch fine on the oscillator. And then we can either use the delay to create a bit of delay at the start, and then sort of gives you a natural. Or if you want to assign it to the mod wheel, right click, assign to mod wheel. I think I've unassigned it now. Mod wheel. Then you can go in, find where it's like where you would want the most amount. There you go. That's that. Anything else, Chris?
There you go. So, hey, Brian, would it be possible to show how to use a techno preset? I bought it, but I don't know where to begin. Kenny D. The techno pack, probably.
Yes, I think we'll maybe keep that for next week. That could be a whole thing of
a whole thing on techno. Yeah. So we can look at the techno pack, because the techno pack is actually something really. You just call it up there and play some of the presets, because it is pretty awesome.
Yeah. Let's go through some of the. Let me see what pack is it? 10? 9? 9.
You're giving away the upcoming packs there.
I feel like I'm not very loud. I think these are my favorite ones here.
These are cool. So yeah, maybe next week we'll show you how to get preset packs into your tracks. That might be a nice idea. If people think. So there you go, guys.
Yeah, that's it. 9:30. I think that'll do us for this week, will it?
Thank you so much for all the demos and all the chat this week. Deadly Custard, Cosmic Cat, Dennis Vandermeer, Seven of Clubs, DJ5 or D5, Josh McCann, thank you for the track, Ejeka, John Sloan, Kenny D, Deadly Custard. Look, guys, thank you so much for joining us. It is always a pleasure to do this. It's an hour and a half or so away from all the crap that's going on in the world, where we get to talk about our synths and what we're doing on Sonic Academy. We're really excited about what's coming up, and look, can you hear my bottles rattling? My beer bottles. We're really excited about some stuff coming up. Tomorrow we've got GOP. Next week we have got a synthwave course. We're working on some really cool courses. We're trying to bring you, and hopefully they'll land and everybody will get excited about it.
Yeah, as always, if you have any requests for particular genres or types of tracks or artists you want us to try and hit up, then we're always open for that kind of thing.
Because we are always searching for new artists. So if there's somebody that you think, look, this guy is hot or this girl is really hot, we're working with Mousetrap on a new female producer, hopefully getting something in there. So that's really exciting for me. So yeah, we're always up for listening to you guys. Give us courses or give us artists, and I will do my very best to go and talk to them and see if they'll come on Sonic Academy. So tomorrow, as I say, it's GOP. The node is out now if you want to grab that. We have got 7-day free trial. If you've never checked out Sonic Academy, you can do so. You get access to all 500 courses. We have 65% off Anna, and we've got 30% off our annual subscriptions. Anything else?
I think that's it.
That's it. Any other bit? Look, stay safe out there. We know it's all a bit of a crazy world at the moment, so look, just look after yourselves and stay safe.
Oh yeah, I wanted to say one more thing.
Okay.
Just if there's any, obviously everyone's sort of stuck at home at the minute, and everyone's sort of probably playing Xbox and stuff a bit more. I play quite a bit of Xbox. If you want to join in with a bit of Division 2 or COD or FIFA, you can always hit me up. I play a bit of Xbox, so my gamer tag is Phil L7L. Chris, you've got an Xbox now, don't you?
Yeah, yes, I do. I don't even know what a gamer tag is.
You haven't plugged it in online yet, have you?
No, I haven't. I just driving around Formula One and doing a bit of Forza. I'm quite happy at that. So yeah, look, I wasn't never a big gamer, but I enjoyed it. So look, please stay safe out there. Hopefully this will all be over soon, and in a couple of weeks I'll be actually sat beside him, and but then I won't be able to drink. So
yeah,
I don't know what.
Sort that out.
Yeah. Happen to get a taxi up and down every day. So right. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed that tonight. We'll see you this time next week, 8 p.m. BST on a Thursday night on YouTube. So see you all very soon.
Later.
Nobody's watching.
Hello and welcome to sonicacademy.com with me, Gorp. And in this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you all about how I made my track for Spinning Deep called Nobody's Watching. The methods I use, the tips, the tricks, and all the different plugins to get it to sound fat in the clubs. So join me at sonicacademy.com and let's get going.
Can you dance? Can you dance? Can you dance? Can you dance? Nobody's watching.